Our next speech is by one of our top seniors. Now, you heard Miss Manning talk about a flickering light turning into a bright light. This young man turned his flickering light his freshman year into a beacon at a lighthouse his senior year. Tucker Dordevic.
Mr. McGuire told me there were only going to be 40 people here, so it's a little scary. Good morning. My name is Tucker Dordevic, and I'm a senior here at Edison High School. I have ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder and dyslexia, and I've struggled with school most of my life. I was hyper as a child and began climbing out of my crib at just 9 months old. I never stopped moving. I jumped off my brother's bed when I was 3 and broke my leg and had a cast all the way up, and was also in a wheelchair. Even a broken leg didn't slow me down. I just began pulling my body across the floor and somehow still managed to play tennis. I was so ADHD that I would bounce off the walls. Now, you've heard the term before, but I mean literally, bounce off the walls. We have a photo of me playing ping pong and running up the side of a wall. My nickname was Tucker Danger, and my mom spent the better half of my life following me around just to keep me alive. When I started school, I was so hyper and distracting, it was very bothersome for the teachers and also the other kids. I was put on the highest dose of Adderall, which made me a zombie, and I hated it. I was also medicated, not for me, but so the teachers were less distracted. Soon everyone was reading, and I couldn't read a thing. It was hard to memorize my math facts. I started going to the resource room, which I also hated. It didn't seem to do anything except to take me out of the classroom. It made me feel different, which I really hated. It didn't seem to help, and I had nonstop tutors after school. One day, I recall in the 3rd grade, my teacher, who later became my tutor, came over and pulled my mom into the other room. He told her I was unteachable and that I would never learn. He said I should learn meditation. The tutor fired us. More importantly, he gave up on me. Now remember, I was in the 3rd grade. I didn't want to be different. When there was a test, I could barely read it, but I'd fill it out as fast as possible and turn it in so the other kids would think I was smart as they were. Eventually, I stopped going to the resource room because I hated it so much, and every day my mom would pick me up from school and take me home to be homeschooled for the later part of the day. Every summer, I did some sort of nutty summer school program, which was the worst. One summer, I had 6 hours of school a day. There were only 3 students in the class. I was 12, and the other 2 kids were 9. I had to sit there for all those hours, which was painful for a kid with ADHD, and write simple words in the air with my finger, over and over again. D-O-G. Now, for a dyslexic, that's God. I did hokey things too. My parents tried everything trying to fix me. I thought this would be my last program, my last summer school, and if I completed it, I'd soon be fixed. However, I realized I would never be fixed. I would never learn. My mom came through for me once again, and she found out about Edison's summer school program for learning different students. Being an ADHD kid, I thought once again I would hate it. You heard me use that phrase a lot in conjunction to how I felt about education. However, for the first time, I ended up liking school. When I found out I got into Edison for my 9th grade year, I was ecstatic. I had friends at Jesuit, and I got into a school I wanted to go to. Over the past 4 years, Edison has taught me many things in particular. How to learn and how to self-advocate. And has given me the confidence, so much so, I was willing to give this speech to 40 people. My freshman year, I started raising my hand and answering questions, another first. Before Edison, I was nervous and afraid that I would answer a question and be wrong or judged by my peers. That's not the case now. Soon I started to care about school and getting good grades. Surprise, surprise, I began to learn and my grades improved. I became successful in school for the first time. And because of Edison, I couldn't do it without it. It was hard to, surprise, surprise, I began to learn. I began successful at school and couldn't, Forgot to was reading the wrong page. For the first time in my life because I believed in myself. I just read the book Shoe Dog. It's the first book I've ever read for fun. My dad just about fell off his chair when I asked for a subscription to Bloomberg magazine. Believe it or not, last semester I got a 3.7 GPA. I love the classes we were required to take at Edison, like economics, senior seminar, and government. Although the teacher's a little bit weird, Mr. McGuire. He did give me Student of the Year in government, so I better be nice to him. The teachers make these and other classes not only educational and enjoyable, but also relevant. We are really blessed to have great teachers, but I want to emphasize one in particular, Mrs. Fells-Russell, who we affectionately all call Miss FR. She has ADHD and dyslexia like me and many of my peers. She really gets us and relates to us. It's nice having a teacher who not only cares about us, but relates to our struggles firsthand. Believe it or not, she helped me learn to love English. Did you catch that? Love English. Isn't that an oxymoron? In fact, I was her Student of the Year last year as well. The one thing that is priceless about Edison, now I may sound like a Visa commercial, is that I no longer feel alone. I'm surrounded by friends, but more importantly, friends who understand my challenges because they have similar challenges due to their learning difference. They have walked my walk. Although my family is fortunate enough not to need additional resources to attend Edison, many of my friends, of course, I don't know who, are only able to attend Edison because of financial aid. I want to thank you for making this possible. If Edison only accepted students of privilege, it'd be hard-pressed to even want to go here. All of my peers bring something special to the table, and I'm glad Edison made the commitment years ago to accept kids regardless of their family's ability to pay. Earlier I mentioned a teacher who gave up to me. However, there are many who have never given up to me, teachers included. But I can honestly say that I'm blessed having my two biggest fans sitting in the audience today. Mom and Dad. Without you two, I don't know where I'd be right now. Thanks for everything you've done for me in the past. One more thanks for sending me to Edison. This school has been monumental in helping me fulfill my dreams. I'll never be able to thank you enough. I love you, and I hope to make you proud. Speaking of dreams, one of my strengths has always been sports. I've always been very athletic, and I've always worked hard on a lacrosse field. It is my passion, and I use it as my escape. In some respects, it kept me out of trouble and taught me if you work hard enough, anything is possible. I began to apply this approach for the first time when I came to Edison. When I was growing up, I had a dream of going to college and playing Division I lacrosse. With hard work and the right learning environment, dreams do come true. Last January, I got a scholarship offer from Syracuse University to play Division I lacrosse. One of the best lacrosse programs in the school. My lifelong dream is close to becoming a reality. Thanks for listening to my story and supporting Edison High School, specifically the students of Edison. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at that.